Welcome, everyone. Welcome once again to our session today. I know that you all have a big dream, right? And that dream is to land your first job in the US. So I'm very proud of you for taking this step to be here and joining us today. So if this is our first time meeting each other, let me introduce a little bit about myself. My name's Kwan Siegel, and my students call me Coach Kwan. In my past life, I worked as a human capital consultant at global organizations like BMW, Accenture, and Deloitte. And today, I get to do what I love as the founder of ICA, where I coach and help international students like all of you today land your first job in the US. And I grew up in Thailand, and that is the picture of me and my mom doing our ritual of morning alms, or in Thai we call Sai Bat, to a Buddhist monk and receiving his blessing every morning in the suburbs of Bangkok. So, coming from another country and now living in this land of opportunity really give me exponential growth that I could never imagine. I never thought that I would be living, working, and owning my business now today in the US. I decided to move to the US in 2014, and in May 2021, I took my oath. United States of America is officially my new home. And from a little girl from a small town in Thailand, now I call myself a US citizen. And if I can do it, one day you will too. And that is my story. Now I would love to learn more about you. I know that you share a little bit about your graduation date. Can you share a bit more? Like if you look into this international student journey right now, and you can use that link that I shared before, join our poll, okay? Where are you at? Can you please share with me if this is your first semester, if you are now eligible for your CPT, looking for an internship or already working on your internship, or are you graduating very soon, like this winter or next spring or something else? All right, please use the poll link and share it with me. Also, kudos to many of you that this is only your first semester, but you are here because you care about your career development. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. All right. So the reason that I show you this international student journey is because one important thing that makes international student job search different from domestic students is the time constraint. Okay. International students need to work on more things with limited time. You have a set schedule that you need to meet. For example, remember to apply for your OPT 90 days before your graduation. Choose appropriate date on your EAD card. Get an offer before graduation would be amazing because you have that 90-day unemployment allowance, right? And after graduation, you still need to stay on top of your timeline. For example, to prepare for the OPT STEM extension or discuss the H-1B sponsorship with your employers. You need to own it, okay? You need to be on top of your game. You are in that driver's seat of your job search. Nobody else is. We are here to support you, but you need to be in that driver's seat. It may sound challenging, but let me tell you this. It is very possible to land your dream job in the US. I have a few stories to share with you today. Okay. They are international students that I've got a chance to coach at ICA, and they landed their dream jobs at top organizations in the US because they have solid career brands and networking skills. First, Shasman Khan, an international student from India. And it was the peak of the pandemic when job openings dropped by half at the time that I met with Shasman. The job market was worse than today's job market. Even now, we are experiencing, top tech firms, tech layoff era right now. But back in that time during the pandemic, the job market was much worse. Okay. And back then, he only had a few years of work experience. So it wasn't easy in the beginning of his job searching as an international student. But then he keep moving forward. And his smart move is that he branded his LinkedIn profile, and a recruiter from Amazon reached out to him without him applying for that job online. He finally secured his dream job as a program manager before his graduation in April 2020. Another great example that I would like to share with you is Dr. Trang Vu, an international student from Vietnam. Trang landed her dream job as an R&D scientist at Unilever. Trang used a networking technique to connect with a director level professional on LinkedIn. She commented on his post and then asked for a one-on-one phone call with him. After that, he passed along her resume to one of the directors who was hiring at Unilever. Trang got a chance to jump on a call to introduce herself, to sell herself to that hiring manager without knowing about any job opening. All right, just get that informational interview. A week after that, what happened? They gave her a job offer. The job was not even posted online. All right, that is Trump. Next is Vice Hatrode. Vice is the international student class of 2022, and she had diverse backgrounds. She was an entrepreneur back in India. She came from diverse backgrounds, did so many things, and haven't actually joined any corporate role in the past. Okay. And she came to the States to pursue her degree, right? She dreams that one day she will be the leader in a consumer goods industry. Vice faced job searching barriers just like any of us today. Work visa barriers, cultural language barriers, lack of professional connections. But she found a way to network and build her brand and overcame all the barriers and landed the job of her dream before her graduation this year. Vice did not even mention about sponsorship during the job interview. But when they offer her the job, the HR know that Vice also has other company that want to have her as well. The HR from this top global company called her to offer an H-1B and green card sponsorship pathways in the job offer letter as one of her employment benefits without her asking for it. Vice didn't ask for it at all. Okay, but she's got that offer in place. You see, Shasman, Trang, and Vice, all of them bypass traditional job application process because they know how to optimize their brand and network with the right people. So let us have a look at the formulas they use that help them land their dream job. Now let us have a close look at the formula that Vice, Shasman, and Trang have followed. I call this a 7-step career success roadmap. And within this limited hour, I will just go through some highlight of these important factors. I'm not going to go through everything step by step. Okay. Two important factors that I want to capture here is number one, effective networking strategy, which includes the first 3 steps. Build meaningful connections, make people like you, and then create networking game plan. And once you build that connections, meaningful connections with US professionals, the next step is to promote your brand, right? So steps 4, 5, and 6 for me is to define your goal, create compelling stories, and know your employer's needs. I'm going to share a few highlights of the important factors of these steps. Okay. Let us start with number one, networking. Why networking, you guys? Why networking? So intimidating, right? And sometimes you feel like it's not authentic. All right. So let me share with you a little bit of the reason why you need to go out and network. Okay. It's very important because if you want to have more chances of getting job interviews, you cannot rely on online job application anymore because on average, only 2% of job applicants get calls for an interview. It is quite hard to get results when applying online. Okay? Why spending all of your time on the online job application when 80% of jobs out there are in the hidden job market? The hidden job market is a term used to describe jobs that have not posted or advertised online, and these employers continue to share the opportunity within their network and keep getting candidates through employee referrals. Many of jobs that are already published online might have already been filled internally or via referral. Okay, that is why you don't even get any responses from applying for those jobs or getting rejections when you have such a good fit resume. I got that too, like very first few applications at Deloitte, and I know online job application will not work anymore. I need to bypass that, right? So let's find out what are the channels of networking. But first, I want to emphasize first step for all of us here as an international student, you need to build meaningful connections, not just in numbers of LinkedIn connection, but people that can be your true advocate. You need to find those group of professional network who know that even when you need work sponsorship in the future, you are going to be a good investment for the company. Just like how Vice got the offer from that global company, okay? And they know that even though she's an international, she's going to be a good investment for the company. That's why they offer the sponsorship. So randomly connecting with people on LinkedIn or sending cold emails and messages may not turn into a meaningful result if you don't know how to build that meaningful connections. Okay. And also make them fall in love with you and also build your game plan to find those connections and maintain the connections. Okay. Let me make sure that all of you here, sorry, I think I stopped my screen share, right? Stop my, okay. Could you please mute yourself when you join the call because now I can hear some background noise a little bit. Okay. Yes, please mute yourself. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Let us continue to see what will be the channels of networking here. So this is great that you are here. You know, like the events like this, you can network with me after this session, right? When you join any events that organized by your schools, you can network with those alumni network, those speakers, those employers. So first of all the amazing events that your school organized, try your best to be there and attend and connect with the people outside your campus that come here and share their advice with you. This is a great way to start networking. All right. Network with people on campus and off campus. And again, you should always be in the driver's seat, right? So continue building meaningful connections with professionals outside your campus as well. You can consider participating in events or becoming a member at these organizations. First of all, organizations that will support your heritage. Okay, leverage your heritage and connect with people in those professional groups in the US. As for me, I am from Asian culture. So I am a member of SEND, which is the largest pan-Asian organization in North America. From being a member, from participating lots of events with Ascent, I met many organizational leaders and friends who turned up to be my long-lasting friendship and also my mentors. And you can do that too. So leverage your heritage and connect with people who share the same backgrounds that you have. Next table that I want to share with you are the organizations that will support your interest, career aspiration. When joining the events or becoming a member of these organizations like SHRM, PMI, Women in Product, FWA, and so many other organizations out there, you be able to meet with your target professionals. For example, you remember Shasman, right? He's now the program manager, but before he got into this position, he's a member, an active member of PMI, which is the Project Management Institute in the US. And if you dream of becoming a project or program manager in the future, you can join PMI as well. Don't be afraid that you are young and inexperienced, because that is actually the card you can use in this job search game. And for students, membership fees. If you decide to be a member, membership fees are very small. Okay, when you are a student, it costs like $20 to $25 a year, roughly around that, But when you are no longer a student like me, I'm a professional, the membership fees goes up to over $100. So my secret sauce is that I want you to become a member of this organization when you are still a student. Take advantage of it today. All right. Make sure that you capture this screen. Okay. If you are try to find the organizations that you can leverage your heritage and your career goal. And if you have other career aspiration, you can share with me in our WhatsApp group later on. I can do a little bit more research and help you define which professional organizations that you can be part of. This is an amazing opportunity, okay, to find your career advocates. Now, let us move on to the next 3 steps to build your career brand. Step number 4, define your goal. 5, create compelling stories. And 6, know your employer's needs. Okay? Why do you need to have a goal, a career goal? Why can't you just develop your resume right away, or network right away, or build your LinkedIn right away? Because otherwise it's not going to help you get more interviews. Look at this one. From a survey, 1,500 recruiters said that irrelevant applications was their biggest turnoff, and almost half of this population said they would blacklist those candidates by suppressing their names from even coming up in future resume searches. Recruiters at big companies have no time to deal with candidates with irrelevant applications. If you continue applying for jobs like a numbers game, I hope that you will change your approach. Please avoid treating your job applications like a numbers game, because it's like you are shooting your resume in the dark. Okay, let us make your job application process more focused and more strategic. There are so many strategic steps to build your brand. Today, I would like to talk about a few misperceptions that students normally make when building a brand on their LinkedIn and more and looking for jobs. First misperception is this one. Do you feel that only work experience in the US matters to American employers? Because that is not true. The right skill sets matter more. You should always highlight work experience that is relevant to the target job that you apply for, no matter where you earned that experience from. All right? Like myself, I came to the US with 10 years of work experience back in Thailand. When I brand myself on my resume, on my LinkedIn profile, and more, I don't shy away from my tangible experience that I earned back home. But instead of focusing on the location of my work experience, I focused on the tangible skills that I used in my projects and focus on the industry of my clients. So my experience back in Thailand actually finally helped me land my first six-figure salary job in Chicago. And if I can do it, you can too. Next is, what about our friends today who do not have any work experience? How can you get started, right? First of all, you have lots of school projects, right? Don't shy away from your school projects. Believe me, actually, those school projects can be compelling for employers. Highlight them on your resume if they are relevant to the job that you are applying for. More than 50% of my students, okay, have zero work experience and they secure their first job by highlighting school projects. Project experience is amazing, okay? And if they can do it, so can you. The last part is the GPA. I know that you all are high achievers here, and I encourage you to keep your grade above 3 because that is a common cutoff for many companies. However, if you feel that having a 4.0 GPA is like a gateway to the job offer right away, let me show you this data. From the National Association of Colleges and Employers survey this year, fewer employers said that they use GPA to screen candidate. You can see a sharp drop here, right? From 2019, 73% focus on GPA now is less than 50%. So when it comes to a career, when it comes to choosing the right candidate for the job, employers want to know more about your stories, not just a GPA. Prepare to talk about your projects and the problems that you solved. Highlight relevant skills and stories instead of just a GPA. So once you have your brand ready on your resume, don't stop there. Go beyond your resume. Share your brand on first. LinkedIn is so important. This is the number one talent sourcing tool for recruiters at so many companies, from small to large companies. Okay. And 100% of my students who got interviews with like top tech firm when it was so popular back then, right now is top tech firm might not be a focus for us, but let me share with you back then, like the last few years, 100% of my students who got interviews with Google, Amazon, and all top tech companies, they got reached out by recruiters through LinkedIn without applying for jobs. Okay. And this continued to be a favorite channel for recruiters at so many companies, not just top tech companies. Okay. Recruiters use keyword optimization to look for candidates on LinkedIn. So hopefully you will optimize your brand and keywords on LinkedIn. Also, don't forget about your email signature. It's so popular for employers, for professionals to communicate through email. And I know that not all international students feel comfortable with email communication. It is so important that you start learning to write a good email, short, concise, straight to the point, and professional. Okay. And one tip that you can do is to add email signature. Add your brand on every email that you communicate with people. And something that will also set you apart from other candidates is the e-portfolio. If you have some work samples from your school, from your personal projects, build a website and let the world know what you are capable of. Share some work samples. So important. Go beyond that one page resume. Okay? And this is a post-pandemic time. People start to meet up in person again. Let's print out your business card that represents your career brand as well. Nothing beats in-person meetings. All right, let us move on to the next part of career branding, which is job interview. And this may surprise you a little bit. When you get a job interview, never, never ask this question. Will you sponsor my H-1B? As you have your work authorizations for F1 students, CPT, OPT, you should walk into that meeting with confidence. Make sure that you are there in that meeting to sell your stories, to sell yourself, to sell your skills, not your immigration situation, not your visa situation. Okay? And during a job interview, please remember that in the US, job interview is not a one-sided approach. It is a conversation. In the job interview, if you want to stand out, you must be able to create a conversation with your interviewers. To create a conversation, you need to know a lot about them, right? Their backgrounds, what they do, and all the hiring managers, leaders that I talked to, they all said the same thing. Candidates who stand out during the job interviews are people who have done extensive research about the company, about the role. Therefore, in order to nail your next job interview, you need to do your homework. And to do that research to identify employers' needs, here are some steps that I would like to share with you. How to identify your employer's needs. First of all, when you get the interview, just start with something very simple. Read that job description line by line. Okay, but that is not enough, right? Check out their website, social media channels, get to know about their recent stories, whether it's going to be like key achievements, key challenges, latest news. Use this technique, name dropping during the job interview. If you know the names of the CEO, CFO, COO, the directors of your department, mention their names and their mission in the interviews. Express how much you want to help the company achieve this mission. Also, do the research about the interviewers as well, not just the company, okay? The interviewers as well. Learn about their backgrounds, their expertise within the company. This will help you customize your message to match with their interest and also ask good questions. But anyone can get those information online, right? Therefore, to stand out, you need to go beyond that, right? Be extra good. You need to find opportunities to speak with people who are working for the company. So ask your connections, your career advisors, if they know anyone, because you would like to learn more about the company culture, the team members, find opportunities to have informational interviews with people who work inside the company. All right, we are here at the key takeaway part. Before I get into the Q&A of today's session, I would like to make sure that you walk away with these important action items. First of all, network, network, network. But to make it less intimidating, network for mentorship opportunity and remove your mindset about, I want to connect with this person because I need a job from this company. Remove that mindset, okay? You need to start building trust and engagement with professionals who will eventually become your strong advocates because they believe in your capabilities and want to help you bypass the immigration hurdles. Network for mentorship opportunity. Next is to brand yourself. First of all, target jobs that are hard to fill in the US. Build your professional brand beyond having a resume. Don't just stop at the resume and use that resume to apply online, you're gonna face lots of disappointment, and it's just gonna be so exhausting. Okay, you need to have a brand beyond a resume, and you need to show to the employers that you are better than other regular job seekers out there. Lastly, job interviews. During the job interview, show that you are a problem solver, not a visa sponsorship seeker, and that job offer with sponsorship will happen on its own. You may be asking, Coach Kwan, really? If I put my mind, like, if I don't focus on how can I find a company that will sponsor me, who will sponsor me? And then instead, I focus on networking, building my brand, and follow this 7-step formula. Will I really see results? You may be asking me that questions. So to respond to your doubts, I combined this data as an evidence. Okay. So the students that followed these 7 steps, this is what they have achieved. More than 90% of them received job interviews or even a job offer within a month of launching their new career brand. And remember that all of you here are not supposed to be cheap labor. Who said that we can hire students, international students, because they will be desperate in getting a job? No, you're not cheap labor and you're not desperate. You are the human capital. Therefore, my students' average salaries are twice the average national salary because they know how to sell their brand. And with networking skills, some of them that landed jobs at small company startups or at entry levels right after college, within 1 year, they got promoted, okay, or getting hired by bigger companies within that year. So continue networking, continue building your brand on LinkedIn, and you will have lots of opportunities lined up. Landing your first job is not the finish line, it's just the beginning. Okay, and if Shazman, Trang, and Vice, and many other amazing international students that I have coached can do it, so can you.